Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And I have 3 books with me today. I have the Melody Beatty, The Language of Letting Go, the sister book to Codependent and More. And I have Journey to the Heart by Melody Beatty. And I also have A Year of Positive Thinking, Daily Inspiration, Wisdom, and Courage by Cindy Spiegel. So we're going to read from all 3 of these today. And I think I'm going to start, I just opened them, I didn't read them, but I looked at the titles of them. So we're going to start with The Language of Letting Go today because the other 2 I think are a little happier and more inspiring. So I like to end on that note. So the first one is called Sadness, May 20th. Ultimately, to grieve our losses means to surrender to our feelings. So many of us have lost so much, have said so many goodbyes, have been through so many changes. We may want to hold back the tides of change, not because the change isn't good, but because we have had so much change, so much loss. Sometimes, when we are in the midst of pain and grief, we become short-sighted, like members of a tribe described in the movie Out of Africa. Oh God, I love that movie. Have you guys seen that movie with Meryl Streep and Robert Redford? Oh my God. If you put them in prison, one character said, describing this tribe, they die. Why, asked another character. Because they can't grasp the idea that they'll be let out one day. They think it's permanent, so they die. Many of us have so much grief to get through. Sometimes we begin to believe grief or pain is a permanent condition. The pain will stop. Once felt and released, our feelings will bring us to a better place than where we started. Feeling our feelings instead of denying or minimizing them is how we heal from our past and move forward into a better future. Feeling our feelings is how we let go. It may hurt for a moment, but peace and acceptance are on the other side. So is a new beginning. God, help me fully embrace and finish my endings so I may be ready for my new beginnings. Okay, so this is a really powerful meditation, especially for me, because this is something that I've had to learn in my life. I went through life for a very long time. I know you guys are used to me crying in videos and being very emotional and being joyous and, you know, happy, joyous, and free, and then sad and, you know, remembering something and, you know, crying and whatever. That is who I am today, and I'm very proud of the fact that I am that person, you know? It's when I read comments or whatever about me and they'll say something like, oh, he always is crying about this or he's crying about that. I'm like, you know, it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I am comfortable feeling my emotions and knowing that that's okay, right? And not withholding my emotions out of fear of what other people will think or say. You know, for many, many years, and I think not being willing to accept that I needed to feel that feeling, you know, and I was, I think, fearful of what would happen if I did feel that feeling. So, you know, for years and years and years, when I wasn't okay, and people asked me, how are you doing? I would say, I'm okay. You know, it's like when I was going through everything with my mom, when my mom passed away and when she was sick, I was like, I'm fine, I'm okay. You know, people ask all the time. I was so numb, I didn't even know what to feel. But one of the greatest things happened as a result of that. I started allowing myself to, like, if a song came on the radio and I thought of my mom, like, this is long after, because my grieving really started long after my mom passed. Like, if I heard a song on the radio, and maybe at the same time, because I can remember, like, this song is interesting because it came out later, but the song Bye Bye by Mariah Carey, like, that song to this day, when I hear it, like, I think of my mom so much when I hear that song. The words just resonate so much. There's like a line in there and it's like, you never got to see this, you never got to see that, and I hear that song I love that song by Mariah Carey, and I hear that song and it just like, it's like I feel like my mom is sitting there with me, you know, and music has been a really cathartic experience for me. So what I would do is, if a song came on the radio or came on my iTunes or whatever, that was one of my mom's favorites. It's so weird. I was just doing a Peter Does Stuff video outside watering my plants, and I was singing Blowing in the Wind, which was like one of my mom's favorite songs. And she used to always like just sing like and hum when she would like do stuff around the house. So if that would come on like my iTunes or something and I would feel myself getting very emotional, I today, and I did then, learned to pull over and allow myself just to feel it, just to sit in the emotion and feel it. And if I was sad, allow myself to be sad. And if I'm angry, allow myself to be angry for a little bit. And if I'm happy, then hold on to that as long as I can, you know? But in realizing that I don't have to be sad forever, I don't have to be angry forever, I'm gonna be okay. The day is going to come when things are going to get better. You know, it's like when, you know, I used to say the saying by Maya Angelou that Oprah would say, that when you're in the middle of the biggest tragedy or you're in the middle of going through something, look up and say thank you because you're about to learn a valuable lesson, which I love that quote, but that's not the actual quote because I went back and looked at it. The actual quote is, when you're going through something really tough in your life, look up and say thank you because this too shall pass, okay? This isn't going to be the circumstance of your life forever. And I had heard this lead. So a lead is when somebody tells their recovery story, right? I had heard this lead when I came back into the rooms after being absent for 4 years. And in this lead, this woman was talking about how, you know, every day she would talk to somebody and they would all say, this woman would ask her, how you doing? How you doing? She'd say, oh, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm fine, every single day. And she was dying inside. And I was dying inside when I heard this at that time. I just was like, I just really didn't have any motivation for doing anything in my life anymore. And I was sad and I was angry at God for taking my mom, and you know, my relationship with Alex wasn't great, and I mean, that's, you know, marriage counseling has saved our marriage. I mean, our marriage now is at like a 9-10 and it was like at a 2, you know, and had we not gone to marriage counseling, it saved our marriage and it definitely saved my life, you know. And but just at that point it felt like everything was falling apart. I felt hopeless. I felt hopeless and I didn't feel like I had anything to look forward to, and I just was kind of getting up and going through the motions. And I heard that lead, and I heard that woman say that, and she said one day she went in, and this woman asked her, you know, like, well, how are you doing? And she said that day, she said, I'm not doing very good, I'm not doing okay. And just in being able to be honest and telling her story and telling her truth, you know, and that's what I was always taught, you know, is telling yourself, tell where you're at. And I wasn't doing that, you know. I was lying about how I was feeling inside, you know. This is like, I would say like 8, 9, 10 years ago. And I was lying about how I was inside. I wasn't doing okay, you know. I was miserable inside. I was sad every single day. And I remember after hearing that lead, this woman, who actually is the one that says to me, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. That's where I got this from. She would ask me every single day, how are you doing? And I would say, I'm good, I'm doing, you know, whatever. And that next day after I heard that lead, she said to me, how are you doing? And I said, you know, I'm not doing good at all. We sat there and talked for a long time. And just in talking to her, I felt human again, you know? I felt not alone. I felt like other people go through the same things that I go through, and that there are tools and there are skills to get out of it. And it's a lot about putting one foot in front of the other and getting up and participating in life. And soon things start getting better. And whoever you are out there, whatever you're going through, you know, this too shall pass. You're going to be okay. There are better days ahead. Trust me on that, okay? And you just can never give up. You have to believe that things are going to get better, and look for the glimpses, you know, look for the miracles. I did. I looked for the small things, you know, a great cup of coffee or a friend I hadn't seen for a while, or a song came on the radio that I really, really loved, you know, or I just happened to look on Netflix and all of a sudden they'd have some new movie that was like one of my favorite movies from my past, you know. I can remember the day that To Kill a Mockingbird came on Netflix, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is one of my favorite movies, and now I can watch it on Netflix whenever I want, even though I own the DVD, the anniversary edition, the VCR edition. I got it all, you know. But I was so excited about that, and it was just a small miracle to me. And today I continue to look for those small miracles in my life. So you got to remember that no matter what you're going through, allow yourself to feel your feelings. Allow yourself to be sad. Allow yourself to be mad and angry and hurt and betrayed. But then also allow yourself to move through that and move to the other side, where you can find peace and serenity, like the book says. Because it's there, it's waiting for you. Trust me, I know, I've been there. And it's fantastic, fantastic meditation. All right, and really powerful, and I needed to be reminded of that. All right, let's get into the next one. So, what is this one? This is Value the Fragrances of the Universe. This will be interesting, so let's read it, because I have no idea what this is going to say. May 20th, Value the Fragrances of the Universe. I stopped at a small gas station to fill a tank and get a cup of coffee en route through Northern California. Did you know that the world's largest manufacturer of aromatherapy products is right here in town? Asked the attendant. His remark reminded me of the power of our sense of smell to affect how we feel. We are surrounded by odors, but unless one is particularly noxious, we tend to ignore the effects of the scents we are inhaling, and we tend to underestimate the power of certain scents to help us heal. Nurture your sense of smell. Let it come alive. Use its power to help you heal. A bundle of white sage burning in a seashell, well, I like that idea, on the table. the wisp of cedar smoke from the fireplace, a cone of incense filling the air, lavender oil in the bath, drops of eucalyptus sprinkled in the shower, its penetrating aroma mingling with the steam, a vanilla candle on the nightstand next to your bed, the smell of a forest, fresh with rain, ocean air, salty and damp, the rich sawdust smell of redwood, comforting smells from childhood, bread baking in the oven, freshly baked chocolate cake on the counter, chicken frying in the pan, the smell of our favorite people, their hair, their clothes, their cologne. Value your sense of smell, the way it connects you to yourself, to memory, to emotion, to the universe and the world around you. Use your sense of smell to help you discover what's right for you. Surround yourself with the fragrances of the universe and let them help you heal. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional, but I have to say this is one of the greatest gifts my mother has ever given me. Yes, because she gave birth to me so I can smell, but just her joy of smell and just little small things, from lighting candles and incense. My mother burned incense all the time, to just being like, I was just talking about this in the video that I just filmed, watering my plants, where I was saying I love the smell of fresh cut grass. My mom used to love the smell of fresh cut grass, and she loved to walk in fresh cut grass. You know, and she would say, oh, can you smell the rainstorm? I can smell it coming. My mom would always say that. You know, coffee in the kitchen. I love the smell of coffee in the kitchen. And my mom at Christmas time would put, you know, cloves in a orange in the oven, or she would make, you know, the stuff that you put in the saucepan with all the smells, on and on and on. I can just think of all the smells of my childhood and of today, you know, and I'm such a person today that loves smells. I love cologne, and I have like 2 or 3 like kind of signature scents that I wear, and when people see me, they're always like, God, I love your cologne. Every time I see you, it just, that smell reminds me so much of you, you know, and I think everybody should have a signature scent, and on and on and on. I just, you know, I love smells and what they remind us of, you know. It's a fantastic meditation. That was a really fun one, even though it made me cry because it made me remember things from, you know, being happy about stuff. But okay, 20. Listen to the wisdom of others. And this is from Year of Positive Thinking, Daily Inspiration, Wisdom, and Courage by Cindy Spiegel. Cindy Spiegel? Yes. I thought it was Siegel. Cindy Spiegel, Cindy Siegel. Siegel, like a bird. No, it's Spiegel. Okay. Listen to the wisdom of others. Spend time in the company of those who challenge you to become more resilient, kind, and loving. Listen to the wisdom of others to expand your own. Especially listen to the wisdom of those who are different than you. They often have the most to teach you. I've said this in many videos, and I'll say it in this one. My biggest turnoff is somebody that's unteachable. My biggest turnoff is somebody that thinks that they have learned everything and that there are no lessons left to learn. It makes me sad, and it almost kind of annoys me, because I feel like you're so missing out on life when you're just like, I've learned it all, right? I am somebody that asks for people's experience, suggestions, advice all the time. All the time. I'm like, educate me. I don't know what I'm doing on this. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know about this. Educate me. Tell me. I want to learn. I want to grow as a human being. I constantly am asking. When I was in my early 20s, before I started, or before I got into recovery, I didn't do that. One of the changing points for me was when I would have conversations with my dad. And my dad one time said something to me about, like, don't waste my time. If you're asking my suggestion and then you're not going to take it, don't waste my time. A little bird just like walked down there. I could just like see it through the crack in the curtain, you know. And I was like, he's right. Like, if I'm going to ask for his advice or his suggestions, and he's going to take the time to give me honest suggestions based on his life experience, I should listen to that, you know. And so I am very picky who I ask for advice from. Sometimes I just want people to listen to what's going on with me, you know. But other times I want advice, I want suggestions, and I'll say, what are your suggestions on that? And when I do, I listen, because sometimes they know much better than I do, you know. And I got to remember that I've got a lot of learning and growing still to do in this world, and other people are out there, and they're my teachers, you know, they're my mentors, and they're going to help me grow and continue to learn. So, God, these were, all of them were such great meditations. Anyway, let me know what you think about those in the comment section below. And are you liking these, or should I go find some other ones? I'm having a hard time finding new meditation books, but anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.